Hey everybody, welcome back to 2A News Now. My name is Troy, and I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. This year we've heard a lot about the weaponizing of the IRS, and there have been bills introduced in Congress to stop the weaponizing of the IRS, but they really haven't gone anywhere. So several Republican lawmakers have introduced legislation which would disarm enforcement agents from the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, the Department of Labor, also known as the DOL, and the Internal Revenue Service, we all know as the IRS. Republican Representative Clay Higgins of Louisiana introduced the No Funds for Armed Regulators Act of 2023 on June 30th, joined by 7 co-sponsors. The bill would disallow the use of taxpayer dollars to hire or retain armed regulatory enforcement agents in the EPA, DOL, and IRS if it becomes law. Deep state bureaucrats continue to push their executive authority into every corner of America, treading heavily upon your rights and devouring your wealth, Higgins said in a June 30th press release. The bill is a key step in pushing back against the oppressive tactics being used to enforce regulatory policies. Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa introduced her own bill on June 30th, which would expressly bar the IRS from buying weapons and equipping its agents with firearms, titled Why Does the IRS Need Guns Act? The IRS had approximately 2,100 armed agents in its enforcement division as of April 2023. The agency bought $10 million of weaponry and related equipment between the onset of the vid and April 2023, including purchases of $5 million alone in 2021. The EPA currently has 150 enforcement agents who are allowed to carry firearms for their duties, according to an EPA spokesperson. There are another 48 agents in the EPA's Inspector General's office allowed to carry as of November 2017. There was a pretty extreme edge to the regulatory enforcement agents that interacted with my constituents, especially in rural areas, Higgins said. I was surprised to find out that these regulatory agencies had armed police officers rolling up in my constituents' properties to enforce their regulations. The exact number of DOL agents who are authorized to carry firearms is unclear. Higgins indicated that the bill's language will allow for easy amendment, meaning it could be included in a larger legislative package in the future. Additionally, the bill's language could allow a future iteration of the bill to widen its scope beyond the 3 agents it currently targets. Congressional Republicans were able to reduce new funding for IRS enforcement by $21.4 billion from the initially proposed $80 billion as part of the debt ceiling negotiations in early June. I applaud Representative Higgins and the other Republican lawmakers for introducing this bill, because something has to be done reining in the weaponization of these government agencies. But unfortunately, we have a split Congress. A bill like this most likely will pass in the House of Representatives, but wouldn't pass in the Senate. And if by chance some crazy things happen, and it did pass in the House and the Senate, of course Sleepy Joe would veto it. Please let me know your thoughts about this story in the comment section down below. And as always, I appreciate everybody helping the channel out and helping it grow. You guys are always crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting those post notifications. I really do appreciate it. And I welcome everybody back to see my next video.